shame had wrapped our silence round us. Now love has brought us all to light, beyond our isolation, to stand within each other's sight at the rising of lesbian nation. my mother till she wore out and passed away. I hope my daughter can keep believing she can make a better life if she tries. We all are common women, as common as bread, and we'll rise, we'll rise. I am strong, I am light, I am Artemis, swift as the night, strong as the wind. I'm a dyke, and by me that's really great. I am proud that my silhouette is sturdy, that I walk with a sure and steady gait, not afraid to be outdoors and get dirty. I can cut something healthy out of tofu, or I take out the falafel to be fast. For the third monthly potluck I must go to, and the women there are lovers of my back. I told me Mama was going out, she asked what I was all about. I asked if I could take the broom, I'm going to meet the girls. You know the moon is rising high, why don't you like the buzz? Oh, I prefer the girls tonight, I'm going to ride the wind, and it's a girls' night out away. Merry lassies, get your brooms, get 'em out, we'll ride the wind tonight. She sang to me a song of myself, rolling my name round in her mouth like a jewel.
Thank you, Midge, for that slideshow. And if you missed part of the slideshow, we are going to play it again at the end so you can see all of it. Hi to everyone and welcome to our panel celebrating 40 years of Artemis Singers. I'm Jen Dentel from Gerber Hart Library and Archives, and we're very excited about this panel today. Gerber Hart is an LGBTQ library and archives located in the Rogers Park neighborhood in Chicago. We've been around since 1981, and we focus on the LGBTQ history of Chicago in the Midwest. One of the collections in our archives is actually belonging to Artemis Singers. I'm very excited to introduce Diana Clegg, who's our moderator for this panel. So go ahead and take it away, Diana.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you very much. Thank you to the Gerber Hart Library for having us. This is pretty exciting. And it's so great to see all of you. This is really wonderful. I'm Diana Clegg. I'm been with Artemis Singers for 27 years now. And I'm currently the board president, and I'm really excited to get to participate with all of you today. I was looking just a minute ago to see how many folks we have online. It looks like right now we've got 53, and I know at least 85 had signed up, so that's pretty exciting. I was thinking it would be nice for folks to be able to see who is here that is currently an Artemis Singers member. So I was wondering if everybody who is currently an Artemis Singers member could raise your hand just in the screen, just kind of wait for a few minutes in case people need to scroll through different screens to see, so everybody can see who's currently an Artemis Singers. Yeah, or you can hold up your shirt. Okay, thank you. And then I was, if anyone who was a former Artemis Singer, if you could wave now so we could see how many former Artemis Singers are here. Let's see, I see some waves. Awesome. That is so great to have you. So that's excellent. All right, well, let's just jump right in then, because we have a lot to share with you today, which we're excited about. So if you want to put your screen on speaker view, you'll be able to see the panelist that's talking at the moment. So we're going to start off by asking each of our panelists if they would please introduce themselves to our audience and to say a few words about when and why you joined Artemis Singers. And maybe we could start with Ruth.
Yes. Hi, can you hear me okay? All right. Hi, I'm Ruth Clark, and I moved to Chicago in August 1984. And I had been living in Philadelphia. I moved here because my girlfriend at the time came to Chicago for law school, got an apartment in Lakeview, and within a week or probably 2 weeks of moving here, I was reading a classified in the Reader, and it said lesbian feminist chorus new member night. So the location was literally 3 blocks from my apartment. It was at Second Unitarian on Berry. So within 2 weeks of moving to Chicago, I went to that first rehearsal that year. I joined the chorus, and I immediately went from knowing about 3 people in the city of Chicago to having a community, and not just a community, but a lesbian community, a performing arts community. So it was a fantastic introduction to Chicago lesbian feminism. And that was 1984. I was in the chorus for 5 years. Then I moved out to the suburbs for my job. So I was out of the chorus for about 10 years. And then I came back in 1999. And I've been in the chorus again ever since, so it's about 26 years total with the chorus.
Great, thanks, Ruth. Mita, would you share?
I would love to share. Hi, everyone, good to see you. Lots of familiar faces. Really good to see you. I joined the chorus in 1993, I believe. I fell down some stairs in 1992 at my friend's house, and that's why I joined the chorus. You probably want a little more information about that. So I fell down some stairs, and I sprained my ankle, and all of my friends were wonderful, and they drove out from the suburbs. They were all straight, And they drove out from the suburbs, and if I needed my laundry done or groceries or water, whatever, they would help me out any way they could, except they couldn't hang out and talk to me because they had families, they had lives of their own. And I did not have anyone who was a lesbian at that point in my life. I'd been thinking about it. I knew I should, but I hadn't gotten around to it. I had great friends. And that proved to me that, no, I needed a community. And so I spent a good, 3 months waiting for Artemis to call me back because I didn't know they were on summer break. And then I interrogated Ann Morris for a good hour about who was in the chorus. And I haven't turned back. I've been in for 27 years, I believe. And again, as I was watching that wonderful video recording, I was just reflecting on how it's the most important thing I've ever done in my life.
Thanks, Mita. Elise, would you share with us?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I know Zoom fatigue is real, so definitely appreciate 57 people now spending some Saturday afternoon with us. So I joined the chorus in September of 2019. So it has been just over 1 year that I've been in the chorus. And I joined, my wife got an amazing job opportunity here in Chicago. So we moved out very quickly to Chicago. And when I got here, I was thinking about how we needed a community. And I'd actually had the good fortune of singing with Amazon when I was in, I spent a couple of years living in Champaign-Urbana. So I had an awareness that lesbian feminist choruses were a thing. And I was like, I think there was one in Chicago. So I looked it up and found out their new member night was, I looked it up, it was 4 days after we moved here. And so we were still unpacking boxes and I was like, I gotta go to this. I gotta go to new member night because I gotta get plugged in right away before I get into habits of, not reaching out and not forming a community. And it's been not the year that any of us expected, of course, but it's been a fantastic year with Artemis, and I found the community I was looking for. So really excited and grateful to be here today.
Thanks, Elise. We're very glad that you joined. Ruth, I was thinking that since you're the only current member who was around in the early days of Artemis Singers, that maybe you could tell us a little bit about those first years.
Yes, so as we know, we are celebrating our 40th anniversary. And I may refer to some notes because, Gerber Hart is an archive. It's all about history. So we want to get the facts straight or correct, let's say. So in 1979, a woman named Joel Carruthers had the idea, let's start a chorus. So she got a group of people together and they met in a church basement and they started rehearsing. After about 4 months of rehearsing, they became affiliated with a group called TTPA, Toddle in Town Performing Arts, which was an umbrella organization, a nonprofit that combined Chicago Gay and Lesbian Community Band with the Windy City Gay Chorus and Artemis. So at this time, there were a lot of, so in the late 70s, early 80s, there was this a burgeoning movement of LGBT choruses. So by 1981, there was a feminist women's chorus in St. Louis. There was one in Kansas City. There was Anacrusis, which had started in Philadelphia in 1975. There was Calliope in Minneapolis. There was Woman Song in Madison. We had this fantastic Midwest focus of women's choruses. Muse in Cincinnati was started in 1984 when Kathy Roma from Anacrusis moved from Philly to Cincinnati to go to graduate school. So there were men's choruses forming. So it was a movement, a choral movement, and there are books and articles all about it. Read more about it. But going back specifically to Artemis, so they'd started rehearsing in 1979. The first appearance to the public was in December 1980. So that's when we mark our beginning, 1980. And that was with the other members of Title in Town. We performed, I was not in the chorus then, but we performed at their holiday concert, Don We Now 2. And then by the Pride Parade in 1981, Artemis participated for the first time in the Pride Parade. And even from the very beginning, we embraced feminist principles. We had a sliding scale admissions policy, more if you can, less if you can't. We had music interpretation, sign language interpreting for the deaf and hearing impaired. And I think I saw on the list Jennifer Horton, who was one of our interpreters for many years. So there was a lot of aiming for and reaching, I think, embracing these feminist principles as part of our performing arts organization. I wanted to see if former member Veda Woods, who was in Artemis before I was, she was there in the chorus when I started in '84. Veda, do you want to weigh in on any of your early memories, or like why you joined the chorus, how you learned about the chorus? Let's see if Veda is, yeah. Jen, can you unmute Veda? There.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was not planning to talk, Ruth.
So feel free to say, no, I don't care.
Well, I joined the chorus. I was so long ago, I can't remember why but I was also looking for a community. And I first went to the men's chorus to join, because that's the chorus I knew about at the time. And I think there was one woman in that chorus, and she was a tenor, and so you could be in that chorus if you wanted to, but you have to sing in the male vocal range, which was not going to happen. So plus that was not really the group of people I was looking for. So but while I was there, they had mentioned something about Joel Carruthers she was thinking about starting a women's chorus, and maybe I could get in touch with her. So I don't remember the details now of how I tracked her down or figured out who she was or how to find her, but I did, and got the details about when they were going to start the quiet chorus, and I was very excited about going. I had a little more than Mita. I had broken my ankle that summer, and the rehearsal was and I didn't have a walking cast, so I couldn't go unless I could actually get myself there. So I missed that first rehearsal, but the cast came off and I was there for the second rehearsal. So and it was what I was looking for at the time. I sang in choirs in high school, and I was just missing singing, but also I was missing singing. I was during that stage in my life where I was just starting to know that I was in a lesbian community and that I needed to find more people like myself. So that's how I got to Artemis.
That's great. Thank you, Veda. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
So continuing that history, the first time that Artemis had a solo concert was in July of 1982 at our dearly departed Mountain Moving Coffee House, which was a lesbian feminist music venue. Do we know if Kathy Munser is on?
Yeah, I think Kathy's here.
I am here. And you know what? I pulled some flyers.
Awesome.
And the first one I've got you all at is December 6, 1980.
Wow, awesome.
I've got about
Good to know.
Correct the record.
Yeah, so I've got about 5 flyers, and if you want, I can read the write-ups. I pulled 5 of them.
Sure.
Okay, all right, so the first one is December 6, 1980. Artemis Singers, newly formed women's music collective, performed songs written and or arranged by women, including traditional and contemporary selections based on the collective's decisions. So come and join in. And then the second one is 1981. Chicago's own women's chorus performs a mixed repertoire of choral arrangements, all selections written by women. Their reputation recently earned them out-of-town performance invitations. And then the next one I pulled is 1992. Now this is funny. Back from their 12-continent tour, Artemis Singers, Chicago's greatest lesbian feminist chorus, makes their startling reappearance at Mount Moving. How good are they? Perhaps.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Go ahead. Okay. Anyway, how good are they? Perhaps Fergie summed it up best. They're so incredible.
Hello. This is.
They're so incredible. Wait, no, I'm losing my place here. They're so incredible that I have to see every performance. Andrew gets so jealous. Be part of the pride as the chorus sings songs of work, love, and sex capitalized. The next one, I've only got two left. 1993, it's at Season of Pride, it's in June. And what better way to celebrate than with an evening of wine? Well, okay, juice. Women in Song, brought to you by Artemis Singers, Chicago's only lesbian feminist chorus. This concert will help raise money for Artemis's planned trip to the National Women's Choral Festival in Cincinnati this July. So why not come out and show these local songstresses some support? And last but not least, this is 1994. Chicago's own lesbian feminist chorus invites you to help us celebrate our 14th year of proud and joyous singing. In honor of the occasion, we've asked some talented friends to join us on stage. Sharing the bill with us will be Legenia Bailey, singer and musician. Virginia's on here, I saw. Hey, Legenia. Feather Edge, light folk rock with an edge. Anita Loomis, performance artist. Lori Lee Moses, modern jazz improviser. And Women's Action Coalition drum corps, ASL interpreted. So those are the flyers I pulled. There's more, but anyway, those are the early ones that I thought were pretty neat. So congratulations, Artemis. You've been part of the lesbian feminist community, like the Coffee House, like Women and Children First, all these years. And congratulations. And you were always a joy to produce, always. Just really fun and inspiring. And we always enjoyed having you.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. That was wonderful. And thank you, Ruth, for all that information on the early years, and Veda for chiming in with your early story. That was great. I was thinking, Mita, I was wondering if you could tell us, after all these years, what would you say makes Artemis Singers unique and enduring?
Hello.
Hey, Mickey, you're in here. If you just put on mute, you should be able to hear us.
Okay.
Thanks, Mickey. Hi, everyone. Unique and enduring. Okay, well, I haven't been in as long as Ruth or Veda, but I'll take a stab at this. It's only been 27 years. I think the fact that we really like women, it comes down to that. I mean, there are many other things, and I'll talk about them, but that down to the basics there, that's what it is. I remember my first maybe half dozen rehearsals. Here I am, this person who has never been around lesbians, and I come in and the entire room is filled with these women who are lesbians, and they're proud to be lesbians. They're thrilled, and I was really stunned, actually. I kind of was gaping a lot, you know. Now I'm kind of used to it, but for then it was amazing to me. Lesbian feminism is something that is always important to Artemis. It always was, and it probably always will be. I hope so, anyhow. And saying that we are a lesbian feminist chorus in 1980 or 1990, that was a big deal. That was pretty bold. I mean, now, you know, post Ellen, everyone wants to be a lesbian, but hopefully, but then it was really kind of, you know, a statement and a little shocking. We have always, at least in my tenure, which is pretty long, focused on singing music written or arranged by women, because we feel like that's gotten short shrift over the years. You know, men get all the attention, and we wanted to highlight women's music. And sometimes that's, you know, been a little challenging, finding good choral music. It's taken a little exploration. It's gotten easier as time goes on, and certain of our members are really excellent at going out and looking for that music. We've tried to, you know, keep an eye on social justice over the years, and the larger community, the larger world. We have always been a community chorus. We have never had auditions, and we still don't, though now we do pitch matching recently. We do ask that you're able to carry a tune. That's kind of important to us, but we feel like we want to be a home for women who like to sing, lesbian feminist women. All of the decision making of the chorus is kind of, as a group, it's consensus based, and that's a pretty unusual feature. And sometimes that's a feature that makes things a little less easy. I won't say difficult, I'll say a little less easy. Because, you know, you can't just, there's not one person who says this is how we're doing it. There's not one director. There's all of us who are making these decisions. And so it takes more discussion to make the decisions. That's what consensus is, but we are pretty dedicated to that all these years later, and it's worked out pretty well. I'm amazed at when we have business meetings monthly and board meetings every 3 months. I am amazed how respectful we are to each other, amazed and gladdened. And I think that's taken, you know, some years. It's been true for many years, but I think it's taken some time to really make that happen. We started out with one director, like a traditional sort of model. And I think that went on, it was before my time, but I think that was the first few years that Artemis was around. And I think then there was some problem. Director left, concert coming up, that kind of thing. And so then we had to just use, now again, this was before my time, but we had to use whoever was willing to direct. And of course, when you have a community chorus, there are various levels of musical expertise. Some people could direct. I myself would sooner fly to the moon than direct a song, because that is just not where I am. But luckily, there are always people who are interested in directing. It's a very fulfilling and creative process, I think. And it's been a learning process. And it's fun to see directors start out really not knowing a lot, and then over the years grow in their abilities. That's one of the exciting things. So eventually, very quickly actually, we went to that model of having a number of directors, and we found that we like that model. And even if we could do something else, I don't think anyone would want to. We enjoy the variety. Everyone is just a little bit different when they direct. And I think then as a result, our music from song to song has more variety, which is very, I hope, appreciated by the audience. It's definitely appreciated by the singers. So this is now kind of a permanent thing. As far as selecting music, it is much the same way. We don't have a single director who says, oh, here are the 6 songs that we would like, or the 12 songs we'd like you to sing. We pick our own music. And again, We have certain people who are fantastic at really researching music. Shout out to Lorraine Edwalds here, and other people too, Karen Mooney. Allison Downing. Oh no, see, I shouldn't have done this. Once you get started, you've got to thank everyone. Thank you, everyone. But so we get together, we have music selection, and we pick our own music. And again, sometimes that can be a little controversial also, but it makes us very invested in the process and in our music. About 10 years ago, we changed our model a bit, how we do things. And we still pick our own music, but we now have concert themes, which I think probably we've always had concert themes, but we will have a artistic lead. And maybe we'll have more than one artistic lead. There might be two who get together if they're a little intimidated or just want, some company. And those leads will move us through the whole process. And we also have production leads who take the other part of it, which is, I would say, just as important, actually producing the concert to make sure we can, get on stage and sing somewhere. And that also could be two or maybe even three people who are working together to make sure everything comes together. So it's not just one person's responsibility ever. We are a community chorus and we function that way. And the creativity that is as a result of this is very gratifying. I think I could say that.
Thanks, Mita. Elise, you had mentioned earlier how Artemis Singers is not just a chorus, but truly a community, and you were looking for community, and that was important to you. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure, happy to. And I also want to comment quickly on what Mita was sharing about how we have the different directors, because I wanted to share a story from my first rehearsal where I sat down and I thought Lorraine Edwalds was the director because she leads warm-ups, right? So she was leading the warm-ups. I'm like, okay, this person is our director. I'm sure it was on the website and materials to, learning about how the directorship worked in Artemis, but I came up in orchestra and band and other choruses where there's always, one person in charge. And then when it started switching out, I was like, oh, there's something different going on here. This is really interesting. And I just want to echo and agree with Mita on the I think the richness that we get from that variety and I love also the mentoring and the education and sort of sharing of that skill set that goes on in the chorus as well. Which all does sort of tie into community. So coming back to the question, Diana, on what makes Artemis a community. And of course, I've only been in the chorus for 1 year, as you know, but it doesn't take long after joining to really feel and understand that this is a rooted community that supports each other, celebrates each other, grieves together. And some of the ways that shows up, I did not go to the potluck because I was too tired from packing, but I hear the potlucks are fantastic. There's a storytelling element, like an intentional storytelling element to a lot of the gatherings that Artemis has and has had over time. I was fortunate to go to Camp Artemis where a storytelling event sort of took place, and that's annual, I don't know how long it's been going on, but a long time, I think, retreat. Someone puts in the chat, please, how long that's been going. But it's an annual retreat where we all get to socialize and get to know one another on a level that you might not get sort of, before and after rehearsal. There's also, there've been bowling, picnics, parties, all these things that would have happened, this year as well, but obviously this was all pre-COVID. The chorus has also, I've heard all kinds of stories about how you all have supported each other and sung at each other's weddings. You've celebrated births together. We've celebrated birthdays. This I love. And September is rough, but we sing an individual birthday song for every chorus member, sometimes extended family members. We called my brother one time from Zoom and I held the phone up. Like we love singing happy birthday, and on Zoom it's a cacophony and it's still wonderful. And sadly, on to the grieving together, the chorus has, supported each other through loss, and I believe sung at memorial services for past members, community members over the years. we have supported each other through financial crises and health crises beyond even sprained ankles, I'm sure. And we've networking for jobs. This has been a community where we can network with one another and sort of move ahead in our careers, and also gain skills like leadership skills, all kinds of skills that we can then apply to our careers. I've also heard that there's been a lot of literally packing up, helping each other pack up and move from one home to another. But I've heard that these services have recently shifted to packing only, which I'm a little disappointed about. But as you can see, Artemis is truly, truly a community, and it's a wonderful thing to be a part of.
So the other thing as part of the community is we've certainly had our share of dyke drama, you know, because let's say there's two people in the chorus that are in a couple, and you know, people break up, and then there's a question of, well, who gets custody of the chorus? You know, because maybe one person needs to drop out, or maybe they both need to drop out, or it's possible for both people to stay, but then that, you know, sends some ripples or shock waves through the rest of the chorus. But, you know, like any organization, there are some ups and downs, and some of us may or may not have found girlfriends or for girlfriends in the chorus. I'm not naming any names or anything, but anyway, so yeah, there's always been some elements of drama around the edges, but it rounds us out as a community group.
Thank you, Ruth, for adding that piece. And actually, while you're talking, Ruth, could you talk a little bit about how Artemis Singers celebrates and amplifies women's voices?
Yeah, one of the things that we've really enjoyed doing over the years is collaborating with other women artists. So whether it's inviting those women artists to be guests in our performances, or we've had some combined concerts. So let me just name a few of them. So local musicians like Trisha Alexander and Diana Laffey have sung with us. We've done performances with Margie Adam, with the late great Kay Gardner, we did a workshop in the last couple of years, a workshop and then a concert with Melanie DeMore, who is a fantastic artist. We've also, as part of our network of sister choruses, we've done concerts with DeKalb Women's Chorus. We've done concerts with Muse from Cincinnati, with Sistrum from Lansing, with Amasong that Elise was a part of, Amasong from Urbana-Champaign. And there was a chorus that we did a performance with the Mukwonago Feminist Singers and Eaters, which was a wonderful concert. And I don't remember how much eating there was in that concert, but it was a great concert we did up in Milwaukee. We've also done concerts with Lakeside Pride Symphonic Band and their jazz band. So either our whole chorus or individuals from within the chorus. A really fun thing we did in 2018 was Brother Chorus, Chicago Gay Men's Chorus, was celebrating their 35th anniversary, and they invited a whole bunch of GLBT organizations to celebrate with them. So we did this holiday hullabaloo with them and did 3 performances at Pritzker Pavilion, at Beverly Arts Center, and at North Shore Performing Arts. And that was just such a delightful collaboration. So with not only amplifying women's voices, but voices of others in the GLBTQ plus community. One of the other things that we've done in the interest of continuing to support women's music and women's voices in that arena is we've done commissions. So we have commissioned works from artists within the chorus as well as artists outside of the chorus. So in the past season, we did commissions from 3 of the very talented women within Artemis: Allison Downing, Karen Mooney, and Lori Lee Moses, to do some really, yeah. Are you waving to? Yeah, okay, waving to those people. Then a thing that we've also done is we've continued to sing songs from our dear Chicago community member, dearly departed Paula Wolowitz. We've sung many of her songs over the years. In the early days, and I think we didn't mention this, or I didn't mention this, our original director was a very talented woman, Susan Schlief. And she not only was our director for the first several years, but also did some arrangements of women's music that we still sing to this day. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that we did, in 2008, we lost one of our dear members, Michaeline Fatal, and we commissioned a piece in her memory called Fishing. So do we want to show that, Diana?
Oh, let's go fishing in the early light of day. Oh, let's go fishing. We grab a pole and we get away. Oh, let's go fishing. Fishing feeds the heart and soul, but it's the company that makes you whole.
A lot of choral music at the time was very formal, written by men, or it was religious. So we had to delve deep and broad and wide to find choral music that was written by women, or pieces that were based on writings by women. So I think one of our key missions is to uncover those hidden gems and to make sure that we continue to forefront the talents and creativity of women. Why don't we talk about one of the things we wanted to talk about was additional ways that we're expanding our repertoire. So the people that we relied on in the early days, I mean, who among us has been to an Artemis concert where we didn't sing music by Holly Near or Sweet Honey in the Rock or you know, Farron or Chris Williamson? I mean, we've come back to some of our old chestnuts time and time again, but they're meaningful to us. But over the years, we've also added additional artists and made sure to continue to embrace new works and ones that are not just fun and amusing and melodic, but ones that are meaningful to us as a community, and community of our chorus and the community of all of us in Chicago and beyond in the women's community. So is Diana back?
Back.
Okay.
Yes, just a little Zoom issue. Sorry, I dropped out for a moment.
It happens. Do you want to get us back on track?
Yeah, are you done talking about the repertoire?
Yeah.
Great.
One other thing about the repertoire just is that because of this community of women's choruses, which is still very, very vibrant, we've been able to do a lot of music sharing with them as well.
Right, so this actually is probably a good time to talk about the Sister Singers Network. And Midge, since you've been so active in the network for many years, could you speak about Artemis Singers' involvement?
Absolutely. Artemis Singers has been involved with Sister Singers Network since both those things started in 1980. Being part of Sister Singers Network has been a tremendous part of the growth of Artemis Singers. As part of this cooperative web of feminist choruses and ensembles, we've met friends and colleagues from across the country, some of whom are here with us. Thank you. We've met them at women's choral festivals hosted in Grand Rapids, Kansas City, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Chicago twice. We hosted the third festival in 1986 at Lane Tech with 8 choruses from around the Midwest. And in 2010, we hosted at Lakeshore campus of Loyola University with 23 choruses and 650 singers from around the chorus, which was pretty amazing for our little group of 21 singers. By hosting those festivals, we had lots of fun. We did a lot of hard work. We learned a lot about music, about organizing, about concert production. We learned to depend on and to help one another, and we all expanded our skills and our confidence. For example, Sue Dunmore, she had much spreadsheet magic, and with Mita Hellman, who had great patience and discretion, they managed to get those 650 singers registered and housed with the roommates of their choice in those Loyola dorm rooms. Somehow getting all those details right without asking too many questions about why 3 different people from one chorus all wanted to room with the same woman. Another example, Ruth Clark and Rosemary Nichols were part of our production team, and they came up with this clever plan for how to move 2 mass choruses, each with 250 women, onto and off of the stage in less than 5 minutes, which was a pretty amazing piece of choreography. The wind chorus flew up the back and off, and the water chorus flowed up the front. Did I get that right, Ruth? Flying and flowing? Through Sister Singers Network, we've added dozens of beloved songs to our repertoire, and we've shared the work of many of our own composers at SSN festivals, including I Chose the L by Allison Downing, Songs of Strong Sisters arranged by Lori Lee Moses, I Am Here by Linda Elliman, Press Me Onward by Karen Mooney, Listen by Karen Mooney, Gather by Karen Mooney, July by Lorraine Edwalds, and Spiral Time by Jan Rogers. We see you out there, Jan. Through Sister Singers Network, we've met directors like Rachel Alexander and later Meredith Bowen from Sister Women's Chorus in Lansing, Michigan, and Megan Johnson from Indianapolis Women's Chorus. They've led workshops for us to help our directing corps gain skills and to help our singers understand what the directors are trying to do with all that arm waving. Our leadership as part of Sister Singers Network has helped the network to continue through good times and bad, including a series of webinars in 2020 to help choruses stick together and grow skills even in a time of pandemic when singing turns out to be one of the most dangerous things folks can do together. And with plans currently in the works for a 2023 Sister Singers Network Festival to be hosted by Windsong, Cleveland's feminist chorus. So we love our sister singers near and far.
Thank you, Midge. Yes, we do. And certainly hosting the Sister Singers Network Choral Festival was definitely one of Artemis Singer's most ambitious projects that we took on. Mita, I was wondering, could you recall some of our other more ambitious projects to share?
Well, I could try, and I could call on Lorraine Edwalds to help me with this. So Lorraine, why don't you talk a little bit about the breast cancer oratorio, and then I'll jump in and talk about our CD.
Okay. Yes, one of the keys to us staying together, I think, for so many years has been that we do try to challenge ourselves in one way or another. And doing the breast cancer oratorio in the early 2000s was really a cool thing to do. Obviously, we're not the kind of group that usually would do an oratorio, but this was something that really spoke to us. This was something that our own loved ones were going through. And so it was a wonderful thing to put together. And then we also have done these musicals. I'm wearing my t-shirt from the Wanting the Music musical that we did in 2017, which was honoring the Michigan Women's Music Festival. And we did songs from there. And putting together a whole musical was really a wonderful thing to do. We also did a musical, a Girl Meets Girls musical of just songs from musicals. So we've done a lot of things that stretched us, you know, beyond our normal limits.
Lorraine, since you're talking about the musicals, maybe you could mention who wrote them and some of the songs.
I wrote the stories, the book part, but
you see with Lorraine, she tends to be a little modest, so you have to push her a little bit. Come on, Lorraine, take some credit here.
It was a wonderful thing to do, you know, but again, it's something where I had to push myself a little more than just showing up and singing. And I do think that that's been a key to helping us to stay around for so many years, is that we keep pushing people.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, since Katie and Lori are on here, I know Katie had to teach us some dance, right? What was that? What was the dance, Lorraine? Or Kate, you can jump in here.
I thought it was.
Well, I think it was actually Jackie Boyd who was teaching us how to do the Charleston. Yes,
That's right. That's right.
And it was hilarious and really, really fun.
Because Artemis and movement is always hilarious, no matter what.
Right. We're not known for our movement ability.
Coordination and movement.
It's
Some
something
people are excellent.
that we try and do more of, like, again, to push ourselves.
That's right.
I will say that in the early white pants era, we did a lot more choreography. We had, at one time we had a resident choreographer, Donna Gambut, and we did some, you know, we did jazz squares, and we were good. We were good.
We're still good. There was a question about who wrote the breast cancer oratorio, so we should give credit to Diane Benjamin for that there. And I know we donated the funds from that to the Lesbian Community Cancer Project. So I just wanted to mention that.
We were joined on that breast cancer oratorio by the women's string ensemble from Lakeside Pride. Wasn't that right?
Yeah.
It was individual string players who joined us, and the Lakeside Pride Women's Ensemble had their own set after the oratorio performance as part of that whole thing.
Yeah.
In 2005, we had the great distinction of putting out our only CD, but it was a double CD, which was very exciting. And we had a great title for it. It was Artemis Singers, 25 years. We thought about that for a long time. But what was kind of fun was that we put all our members, past and present, we put their first names on the cover. So I don't even know if people noticed that or they just thought it was a design element, but that was great. We took how we did it. We had a member at that time. And who was the member? Does anyone remember? Ruth's going to tell me. Ruth's got to come off mute.
Christy Zerker.
No, Chris Gerber, but KT. We called her KT. Her name is Katie, and her uncle was a professional sound recording engineer.
Oh, it was, thank you. So it was so exciting. We went into the studio, and we only recorded 3 or 4 new pieces, as I recall. So we used a lot from past concerts. It turned out very well. One really cool one, and the song would be something about burning, I believe.
Burning Times.
Burning Times. So they used the original recording, and then it was kind of thin. So then several members, I believe Diana was one of them, learned the song and then added to it. So it really filled it out nicely, and I remember that well. But it was
actually also Michaeline and Penny Wilson and Ruth and me. And so we had some women who were a part of the original recording singing along with their younger selves.
That's right. That's pretty cool. So that was just one of the great thrills. It was a double CD because we had a lot to put on there, and we were worried that, it was 25 years. Who knows when we were going to do it again? And here we are at 40, and that same question comes up. But now, of course, everything's streamed, so it makes it easier or harder, depending on how you look at it. So, so that was a big deal. We also, in 2006, sang at the Gay Games, and we got to be on the stage with Amasong at the Pritzker Pavilion, and it was very exciting. There were people heckling us or heckling everyone on the stage, and so that was fun to be there for that because we don't get heckled all that much. And then I believe, Lorraine, we were at Wrigley Field, or you were at Wrigley Field. What was going on with that? I wasn't there.
Yeah, that was, if you chose to, you could be part of the opening and closing ceremonies for the Gay Games. And I know Anna Veda were in both the opening and closing ceremonies. I was in the closing ceremonies. So yeah, so some of us were out there representing the female.
And I know, Lorraine, you did, you talked about the choral musical of Michigan that you did. Do you want to tell us any more about that?
No, just that it was.
Did we have vendors?
Yes, we had. Yes, we did have vendors, and that was a very fun thing. Also, we used to participate in the Mountain Moving Winter Mini Fest. So we kind of knew these vendors. I mean, and a lot of us knew the vendors from going to Michigan for so many years. And so that was really wonderful. It really created more of that festival spirit and just, kind of reaching us or making us part of that larger community. And that was really wonderful.
And I had some note here that said we had an international audience. Was that true?
Yes, I believe there were people that came down from Canada.
And did they take their shirts off?
Well, I don't know if they were the ones who took their shirts off.
But people,
there were certainly people who did take their shirts off for Amazon Women on Rise because
they were so excited.
Why not? I mean, it's part of the song.
So if you weren't there, I'm sure you deeply regret not being there. And I'm not sure, but you mentioned our composers and everything for that your three composers who compose music.
Oh, no, I didn't mention them all, but yeah, I mean, because we were using the works of people from Michigan, but then we did do some of our own songs, and Allison Downing, you know, had created music from something where I just had lyrics, and you know, so it was very collaborative. It really involved, really everyone in the chorus had to get very involved to create it, you know, with the set and everything. It was amazing.
Right. I mean, we had a set. We had set designers. We had Rachel Alexander. What did Rachel do? I forgot.
Stage management.
Thank you, stage manager. See, what do I do? I just say.
Stage crew. Our stage manager was MJ Grimshaw.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some credit out here. Absolutely.
Let's throw credit to Lynn Hull, who was helped us build the set. We had professional sound. We had professional lighting. We did it at the Irish American Heritage Center. We had a total audience of 500 people for 2 performances. Yes, from our friends to the north. And I think something like 12 different states. We had, it was an extravaganza. So.
And people took their shirts off. It was incredible.
Did we mention who the director was? Ruth Clark?
Did not mention who the stage director was, but I was the stage director. You, Allison Downing, and you, Midge Stoker, were the music directors. So it was quite the thing.
And I think that our everyone here today can see how we are a community and we help each other remember things, which is what communities do for each other.
Oh, we also still have T-shirts available from Wanting the Music. Lorraine, show your T-shirt. We can't see your T-shirt, but we will give you a really good price on a Wanting the Music T-shirt.
And we still have CDs too. Let's not forget those.
That's right. CDs are still available. And Midge, actually, while we're still talking about Wanting the Music, could you just mention about the pieces that we commissioned from the artists?
Oh, this is a pop quiz, is it? Yeah, okay. So we had a Chris Williamson waterfall. We had an arrangement that Chris had Mary Watkins make for us for that performance. So that was pretty exciting. We had Rachel Alexander did an arrangement for us of a song, the name of which I can't remember.
Excellent.
Great. We had a Toshi Reagan song, Real Love, that was arranged for us by Randy Rexroth. That was fun. We had fun trying to learn that one. The rhythms were very, those were the 3 things that we had arranged for us for that concert.
I think it was Nita Johnson's. Yeah, August Moon.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's the one Rachel arranged. Sorry, I could not remember. See, it takes a village, not just for children, but also for the elders.
You know, since we're thanking people here, I think Ruth might want to do a little of that too, right, Ruth?
Do some thanking?
Yeah, like to our PR person.
Well, yes. So one of the things that we've had, one of the resources that we've enjoyed over the years is Joanne Swanson, who is our director of PR, and she has done an amazing job of generating publicity for us, for concerts, for other appearances, just for general awareness. I mean, we had an article last year that was created by Associated Press. So and that was in 30 newspapers around the country. Joanne has also consistently gotten us interviews, most recently last weekend with WCPT, Chicago Progressive Talk Radio. Many other articles, like we had an article a couple years ago in the Sun-Times, and then especially we've had such wonderful coverage over the years from Windy City Times. And I think on this call is a reporter from Windy City Times who is doing, Carrie Maxwell, who's doing an article on us. And for those of you who don't know, Windy City Times is switching over to a digital only approach. So the last print publication of Windy City Times will be next week. September 30th is the final print version. So be sure to pick up a copy of that paper because it's served our community for 35 years. But again, just wanted to really send appreciation for Joanne Swanson. And if any of you need a PR person to help with your nonprofit or your for-profit or whatever, please reach out to Joanne or reach out to us. Joanne,
thank you.
Say anything? Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute again, okay, for you. Okay.
Yeah, feel free.
I have to go back one. Part of our extended village reminded me that we had another song that was arranged for us for the Wanting the Music called Everything I Need, Melissa Farrick, and that was arranged for us by Jan C. Snow. We have the fabulous Google G Suite for nonprofits, which is free to us, where we have our entire backlog of recordings and lots of our music library, and thank heaven spreadsheets of many of the sets from lots of our concerts, including that one.
I think Karen did a arrangement of Testimony, didn't she?
She did an arrangement of Ain't Life a Brook that we had a small group sing.
Ain't Life a Brook, sorry. Got my Farrens mixed up.
There you go.
Do Testimony, Ain't Life a Brook. That was great. What else do we want to talk about?
Joanne, did you want to say anything? I know you were clicked on briefly. I didn't want to cut you off if you wanted to say anything.
Well, thank you very much. It's been wonderful working with such really wonderful women.
Well, thank
you. Thank you.
Notice that's a PR person. She's really not going to say anything bad about Artemis, even though we're,
Might be challenging to work with at times.
Oh, never. Never.
Well, that is definitely one of the reasons that we even have audiences. She's done an amazing job for us for years, and I think we all feel very grateful to her.
Yes, very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Something that we haven't really talked about too much yet is how a lot of the music that we choose to perform is based in our feminist values and often focuses on issues of social justice. So over the years, we have supported a variety of organizations and actions. For instance, rape victim advocates, now they're called Resilience, Sarah's Circle, Domestic Violence and Homeless Services. We talked about LCCP earlier, the Illinois Coalition Against Sexual Assault, the Kay Gardner Healing Fund, and AIDS benefit from the Chicago Theater. Those are just a few of them. And many of our concert themes and choice of songs draw attention to current social justice events and movements. And a few of the songs that we have sung over the years are more recently actually still on the bridge. Fannie Lou Hamer, I Ain't Afraid, in the Iraqi Peace Song, Song of Peace, Biko, Ayuna Mujer, Body Back, Fight Back, Rise Up, Never Turning Back. Can sense a little bit of a theme there. In 2013, we had the opportunity to sing at the March and Rally for Marriage Equality in Springfield, which was rainy but fun. And then, amazingly, a month later, we got to sing at the signing of the Marriage Equality Bill in Chicago by Governor Pat Quinn. It's not that often that you get to go to some sort of event like a rally, and then the next month it comes to fruition that quickly. So that was pretty cool. Something else I wanted to mention was in 2016, we had our Voices of Joyful Rebellion concert, which we performed at both on the north side and the south side of Chicago, and the proceeds were to benefit Affinity Community Services. They're a social justice organization here in Chicago that serve the needs of the Black LGBTQ community with a particular focus on Black women. And every year thereafter, we've made a commitment and prioritized having a concert on the south side of Chicago as we're continuing to work towards better representing the lesbian feminist community all across the Chicago area. So I did just want to say a few words about that. And I think we haven't heard from our panelist, Elise, in a little while. So as one of our newer members, Elise, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about some of our more recent activities and then speak a little bit about the future of Artemis Singers.
Sure, I'm still here. This has been really awesome. I'm learning more stories than I'd ever heard before on this panel. So just, I'm loving it. So yeah, happy to share about pretty much 2019 and since. So one of the big projects from 2019 was a collaboration with the Artemisia vocal trio, where some of the women of Artemis Singers, along with other groups, had been got to be in a music video for actually one of my favorite songs that we sing, What Happens When a Woman. And several of our singers, Ruth, I'm not going to be able to name everyone, I just remember Ruth is in there. Shout out, you know, if you were. Several of those singers spent a day with the trio and other singers in the recording studio, singing, dancing, and being interviewed. It's really fun. I wonder if someone could drop the link to it. It's amazing. The video debuted with a watch party this past February, and it is awesome. So we'd also in 2019 been busily planning the Artemis Singers 40th anniversary activities. There were 15 plus work teams, and this was gonna it was going to culminate in 2 large concerts in 2020. We also, and I had the opportunity, my one Artemis concert, had the opportunity to sing at the Dreamboat LGBTQIA improv show at the IO Theater in Chicago. I think we've done a few collaborations with them where it was an opportunity to do sort of a bit in a, well, it's really singing, but our funny songs, right? In the middle of their improv. And the stage was very small. We cramped in there and we had a blast with it. And we'd hope to have more of those collaborative experiences with Dreamboat IO, but we recently sadly learned that the theater has closed. So moving into 2020, we adapted to COVID-19. Of course, as everyone has, and our sort of new norm. We continue to meet as a chorus, and we meet regularly, always over Zoom. It's been actually a cool opportunity to get to know each other a little better with games and sort of getting to know you games. We've tried different ways of singing together, where we might be listening to one person singing or listening to a recording, and the rest of us are on mute, kind of singing to ourselves. It was very weird at first, but now it actually just kind of feels normal. And we've also tried serial singing, where we'll assign people numbers and we'll go through a song and each have a line and sing it all as a group, just to kind of, you know, recreate that feeling a little bit of singing together. It's always very validating when it works out. We put together a Jeopardy game that was involved a lot of Artemis trivia, and hosted that kind of, you know, virtually, of course, had a board shared on the screen, and it was a lot of fun. We've taken turns, you know, coming up with ideas for fun things to do. We've also done 2 Truths and a Lie, and a pretty cool game that Allison Brown brought to us, where you find a place on Google Maps that is meaningful to you, and it's like a show and tell about that place. And when you describe it, it's like, what? And then when you do it, it's like, oh, wow, this is really interesting. And as you're sharing, you know, just more and more things come up, and we're able to just sort of connect on a deeper level with this game. So that was really fun. It's also given us an opportunity to work on some special projects that maybe were on the back burner. And really, it's actually been an opportunity to learn new skills. We had a group, Allison, Jen, and Legenia, do a pilot project of that technology of splicing video and audio together. We're going to show it to you so you don't have to hear me try to explain it. And we are aiming to do this as a full chorus this spring. So I think Diana will be playing this. It's I Will Carry You.
Actually, we're going to have Jen play it, but before she does, Allison, did you just want to say a word about it?
Yes, so you may have seen popping up here and there virtual choirs. They call them choirs instead of choruses. We use the word chorus. And so we kind of wondered how you do that. And so we're figuring it out. We're hoping that everyone in the chorus will participate. You know, we do have the virtual concert coming up in the spring, as Lorraine said in the chat just now. And so there will be as many pieces as we can produce performed virtually. And we hope to, during our Thursday rehearsals that are on Zoom, involve people in making these videos. So basically, you give a guide video and you're watching it and hearing it, maybe a video of somebody rehearsing. You've got your earbuds in and simultaneously you've got your phone filming you, and you film yourself singing. And it's kind of daunting because you're singing a solo and you're getting videoed. And then you upload your video and everybody uploads their video and we combine them. And you don't just have to do it like the Brady Bunch. That can be kind of boring. I saw one with like 17,000 singers, and by that time it's like they could all be faking it. So we're trying to combine it with some individual videos of individual singers, and then go to the Brady Bunch and maybe have some still pictures to make it kind of an artistic work. And hopefully different people, like we have different artistic directors for concerts. With this type of thing, you can have a new artistic director for each video you produce. So everybody keep that in mind. What kind of video would you make?
Thanks, Allison. Jen, if you could play it for us, that'd be great.
All right, perfect. I'm going to start sharing my screen. All right. Everyone see that okay?
No, we don't see your
Not
screen.
yet. Yeah.
No, not yet. 1 second.
Ta-da.
All right, let me back it up. There we go.
Yep.
Take my
That was beautiful. Thank you, Legenia and Allison and Jen for that project. Elise, did you have any more to speak to regarding our current and future?
Yes, I can say a little bit about the future of Artemis Singers. So one thing that it's sort of now the current and into the near-term future is, and ongoing, we've brought together a visibility and diversity team, and we brought a renewed focus during these times to anti-racism. And we know that we must be actively anti-racist before we can be inclusive. So we're spending the next 6 to 18 months reflecting and analyzing on how the chorus works and determine where we need to make changes to the culture, to the policies, procedures, and systems to become a proactively anti-racist organization. And as we've mentioned, we're also planning a virtual choral concert next spring. So make sure that you're on our mailing list to get more information about that as we get it out there. And we will definitely be ready and excited to invite new members to join us as soon as it's safe to rehearse and to sing together in person. And I have to say that hearing all these stories today about the vibrant community created and nurtured by the community Artemis Singers over 40 years has been really inspiring for me. And I really believe that there continues to be a need for dedicated lesbian feminist music space in our world. And I really look forward to expanding our membership and fostering the Artemis community long into the future.
Thank you, Elise. And I'm very excited about the future. So we're coming close to 5 o'clock, which was how long we said this panel would be. But we're willing and able to stay around a little bit longer to answer any questions and to hear additional stories and comments for those of you who are able to stay with us. Before we start doing that, I'll say a few words of thanks before, if anyone needs to leave. First, much appreciation to the Gerber Hart Library and to Jen Dentel for all your work in helping us put this together. And I also wanted to do a shout out to Crew Make Do at the Black Lesbian Archives, who's actually here, I believe. We are encouraging folks to donate. We love the work of Gerber Hart Library Archives, and we want to see Black Lesbian Archives successfully moving and growing. And so we're encouraging folks to donate if they can. And I did want to mention again too that we will play the slideshow that we played at the beginning. If you missed it, we will play that again at the end after we answer any questions. So does anyone have any questions or any comments or stories? I know Suzanne Arnapola, I believe you were here in the early days. I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to share either.
Unmute. There, am I unmuted?
I believe so.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, congratulations to everybody on this really, really cool Zoom thing. It's very moving to me. So I'm talking to you guys from Massachusetts, and I came out here in 1989. And so that's when I left Artemis, and I think I started in, I think it was 81, something like that. And it's just amazing to see where you guys have gone. I know where you've come from, but to see where you guys have gone, and I'm just so proud, and I'm also just so envious and jealous. I wish I had the community that I had with Artemis back when I lived in Chicago, back out here, but it's never, I don't think it's replicable. Some of the memories in my head, well, I remember the first time I walked up or walked down the stairs of that church. I'm not even sure where it was, because I was coming from Skokie and Lincolnwood. I was a suburban kid, and I was still not really quite out. And then I walked through those doors, and Mike was there, and Chris File was there, and Loya Darling and Susan, the director, and Veda was there, and I saw some other names. Bonnie Freeman, I remember her being there. There's Linda Fay. So, but by the end of the rehearsal, I was out. It's like I came out. I mean, I don't know. It was very cathartic for me. And then that's, that became my anchor. That's where all my friendships came from. That's where my fishing trips went, and my watching Ruth go through 4 different girlfriends, and I mean, it was just 5. Oh, sorry.
Speaking of the drama.
So, it was just, it is really a family, and it had some pretty painful growing pains at the beginning. And I don't feel that at all from you guys. I'm not saying it's easy, but the way that you guys have collaborated together and what you've created is just amazing. And I'm just give you my congratulations, and I just hope everybody that's still with the organization, just continues to cherish it and hold it inside, because it's so special, it's so unique. And that's about it.
Thanks for making a place for us.
I just wanted to jump on and say, it looks like people, if they want to share a story or ask a question, it looks like folks are able to unmute themselves. So feel free if you do want to share a story. And thank you to all of our panelists and Diana for moderating. This has been wonderful hearing all these stories.
I'd like to, since this is Gerber Hart Library, and I'd like to put a little historical thing in there that I remember and will never forget. I do want to thank Artemis Singers for everything that you've contributed to my life and to the life of Chicago. Thank you for keeping strong. But I want to recall something that happened at School Street. Artemis Singers used to perform there, and Mountain Moving Coffee House used to perform right there. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up here. And one day, School Street kind of closed its doors to Mountain Moving Coffee House, kind of unceremoniously. Made up. We had a member who was a little bit heavy set, and she had left a little crease in their pillows, I guess, on the pew. And they decided that we were making mad love in their pews in their church, and they were horrified and kicked them out. That was the story. So Artemis Singers came through on the last night that Mountain Moving Coffee House had the place, and Lori Lee Moses was there, Tony Armstrong, all these cool people were there, and Artemis Singers. And we sang, Paula Wolowitz was there, we were singing her songs. We can do battle with demons and angels, our weapons, earth, fire, water, and air. We are resisting the newest dark age with old, which is wisdom, and goddesses rage. So, I mean, just that embrace of embrace of the lesbian, embrace of us not feeling trampled down by people who are trying to trample us down. This was many, many years before we were accepted in society at large. You could still get denied housing and everything else back in those days. Your family would disown you, everything. So you get shouted at the street. I'd get called out names on the street all the time, so it was dicey living there. And we went out with a series of pride, with a sense of pride. And we lifted ourselves up and we did a little snake dance all the way through there. So that embrace of lesbian feminist culture, even the culture of witchcraft and feminism and all of that kind of everything to push us up with pride. I remember that most about Artemis Singers, and I'm grateful for that as not only a former member, but just as a human being. It helped cement with me and ground me in a sense of pride that I still carry today. And thank you.
Thank you.
I have a comment. This is Veda.
Go ahead, Veda.
Several women have mentioned her today. That would be Loya Darling. I talked to her earlier. She sends her love. She was so sorry she couldn't join us today. Loya was our accompanist early on back in the day, and she just wanted to make sure that I extended her deep love and gratitude of Artemis, so everybody knew that she also found a home with Artemis.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just wanted
yeah,
to.
I'll say something.
Okay.
I've known a lot of these women for a long time, and I just want to say Artemis is awesome. I never was part of you guys, but I've been to your concerts throughout Chicago throughout the last several years, and it's just always awesome. I mean, my most favorite song is I think it's called the Women's Bookstore song. I remember the Women's Bookstore song, and I'm like, because at the time I had a fling with the women who I met at the Women's Bookstore, Women Children First. So, it was a short fling, but it was so cool that the timing of that song and me with her, it was so really cool how it's like, yes, you can actually meet a woman at a women's bookstore. So I just thought that was the coolest thing. And, seeing and making friends as I kept going to all the shows is pretty cool. And, I'm looking forward to, after COVID, to all of you ladies doing it again with all the wonderful parties and the get-togethers and the after parties, which is always awesome. Always look forward to those dances, which are always cool. And you guys are just awesome.
Thank you. And I was going to say too, in the slideshow, there's a photo in there of us singing actually at Women and Children Bookstore, and we were singing that song.
While I had a minute, I wanted to thank all our new members, several of whom are on the call with us, and one who's a panelist, Elise, because without new members, we couldn't go on. And so I want to encourage any of our old members who want to be new members again, or any of our new members who are, no, never mind. But anyway, anyone who wants to join, please do. We're looking forward to coming back better than ever, and it'll happen. But thank you, new members. Very appreciative.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you to all of my aunts, my lesbian Artemisian aunts, for raising me and helping me become the strong, independent woman I am today. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Augusta, and thank you for all of your contributions.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead. This is Gina, Nikki's sister, and I have been an Artemisian groupie from the very beginning, and I have gotten so much joy from watching you all and the way you interact, and I wanted to say thank you for letting me be a part of all the processes. Well, maybe not all the processes, but but I still felt honored to be that and to see Augusta grow up. And I'm so proud of all of you and so grateful that you're not just a chorus, and you're not just a community, you're a family, and you've saved my sister and me on so many occasions, and I'm so grateful for everything that you've done for all of us. I look forward to every concert, and I get the privilege of knowing a lot of the songs, or at least parts of the songs, so I'm in the audience trying to be muted but singing along. She knows the alto part. Yes. And I've seen you all just grow and blossom And I've been felt so lucky to be a part of it, and to know that there was always going to be a big family that would take care of my sister. If I couldn't do it, Artemis was always there. I knew Artemis would take care of Nikki, and that has been amazing to me, and your generosity.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you for all your
Thank
years.
you.
And congratulations.
Thank you. It's so great to see you here. It's great to see you here. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Someone mentioned that I think we've mentioned both their names, but Michaeline Fatal and Ann Morris are two of our most important members over the years, and they sadly, very sadly, are not with us anymore. And but we think of them all the time, and they'll always be our singers. They'll be in chorus with us forever. So I just wanted to formally say that.
Tony, did you want to say something?
I did. You know, things like Artemis concerts, we all get together, we all enjoy it, we all go home, and you have no idea what an indelible impression certain things might make. So all these years later, the post office has issued stamps, the Votes for Women stamps, and all I can think about is the Artemis production of Votes for Women with Lindsay Scalchi as Horace and Susan as the star of the show, as I recall it, and that it was completely hilarious. And this is decades ago already. And how many micro memories do women in the community have after 40 years times thousands of women seeing all these performances? It's really remarkable. You've been the soundtrack to our lives, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. And actually, speaking of stories, one of the things that we were planning on doing this year for our anniversary year was a concert that was very focused on storytelling and telling stories about the lesbian feminist community here in Chicago and within Artemis Singers. And Lorraine, who's sort of spearheading that, has already collected a bunch of stories and is still collecting stories. And we are still going to have that concert one day. So if you have stories that you would like to tell, she's still collecting those. I don't know, Lorraine, what would be the best way for people to get a hold of you? Through the website? Is it still up there, the storytelling link?
I think so. They can also just email them to me, ledwaltz@hotmail.com.
Do you want to put it in the chat?
Oh, yeah.
And of course, yeah, you can always get a hold of us through the website.
Right.
Anyone else have any final thoughts, comments? Oh, Allison Downing, you raised your hand.
Yes, I wanted to respond to what Suzanne said, Suzanne A., about things being difficult, you know, and some painful things in the beginning, and that it looked like we don't have them anymore. I wanted to say that, you know, as we've gone forward, we've done a ton of listening sessions, you know, as society moves through different questions. Artemis has too. We talked about how do we define woman, had many listening sessions about that, and you can read more about that on our website. We decided that Artemis does not officially define woman, and now we're going into the territory of anti-racism, I think, which is, you know, a moment in our country that's really calling all of us to do something. And I'm so grateful to have a small community to work on it in. As painful as, or not painful, challenging, a brave space, right, that it is. Because if it's just the whole country or the city, it's like, well, I can't do anything about anti-racism. But in our community, it becomes real and practical. You know, let's look at ourselves. Let's look at how we want to be more diverse. Let's look at why, you know, Artemis originally was very diverse, and you know, things have kind of changed, what's going on, all of those questions, I feel like it's kind of like a privilege, and you feel supported to work on that with your closest people, but it's also a risk to work on those things with your closest people. And yet I think that the musical part of it, and is the spiritual and musical and artistic part of it, is big enough to hold the kinds of things we work on together. So, you know, the more people who join, the more diverse we are, no matter who your identity is, or who, you know, you join, whether you are more like the rest of us or not. The more people who join, the more diverse we are, the richer the conversation is, the richer the music is. Yeah, that's my membership plug.
Thanks, Allison.
This is Patricia, and I just wanted to say how grateful I am from Pueblo, Colorado, to be able to see you. You know, this is one of the silver linings, if there are any, during COVID, is that we get to at least have this virtual connection with each other that is just so very wonderful and just really a blessing. I miss and love you, and I'm so glad that I was able to be part of you in Chicago for a while, here and there. Found a girlfriend, lost a girlfriend, sang badly, sang enthusiastically, and very proud to hear that. Continue for another 40 years.
Yes. We're so glad you could be here, Patricia.
Thanks, Patricia.
Thanks. I feel like we're kind of coming close to our time, unless anybody had any burning things that they didn't get to say that they really needed to say. But we do need to let Jen and the Gerber Hart Library end at some point. No matter how long, we'd all love to stay together and keep talking. Are there any final comments?
This is Nikki. Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Over the years, the past years ago, in the Pride Parade, when the Artemis Singers would always participate, it called me to mind to where we had the goddess statue and a sign on the back that said, what was it? 5,000 dykes in Chicago and only 21 that sing. We're a lot more than that. Thank you to Artemis, and thank you to Gerber Hart for having us today and going down memory lane with all of you. You helped me remember things from like the different sister singers and the different concerts and different moments, and for the 22 years that you all have given me.
Thanks,
Excuse
Nikki.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Got us.
And Midge is going to play the video, the slideshow, as people are leaving. So if you came in late, you have an opportunity to see it.
Farewell to all our mortal pain. Farewell the fears that bound us. Farewell even to the inward shame that wrapped our silence round us. Now love has brought us all to light, beyond our isolation. toasters, silly toasters, round on that disease, and the radiation hits the children before they really did conceive. I love what you give me, Mother Earth. I love what you give me, Lady. Cycles of motion and rebirth, hot sun and forest shady. Powerful oceans, bountiful lakes, towering mountains, soft spring waves. I love what you give me, Mother Earth, and I promise you back the same. I'm just a common woman, working hard every day. So do my sisters, so did my mother, till she wore out and passed away. I hope my daughter can keep believing she can make a better life if she tries. We all are common women, as common as bread, and we'll rise, we'll rise. I am strong, I am light, I am Artemis, swift as the night, strong as the wind. I'm a type, and by me that's really great. I am proud that my silhouette is sturdy, that I walk with a sure and steady gait, not afraid to be outdoors and get dirty. I can cut something healthy out of tofu, or I take out the lump to be fast. For the third monthly potluck I must go to, and the women there are lovers of my back. I told me Mama was going out, she asked what I was all about. I asked if I could take the room, I'm going to meet the girls. You know the moon is rising high, why don't you like the buzz? Oh, I prefer the girls tonight, I'm going to ride the wind, and it's a girls' night out away. Merry lassies, get your brooms, get 'em out, we'll ride the wind tonight. She sang to me a song of myself, rolling my name round in her mouth like a jewel, presenting it to me as a gift, saying, look at yourself, bright star. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the water. We gather in peace that will make us one piece, that will share the same peace. ocean and river, hot sun and forest shady, powerful oceans, bountiful lakes, towering mountains, soft spring waves. I love what you give me, Mother Earth, and I promise you back the same. I am strong, I am light, I am Artemis, swift as the night, strong as the wind. I'm a type, and by me that's really great. I am proud that my silhouette is sturdy, that I walk with a sure and steady gait, not afraid to be outdoors and get dirty. I can trot something comfy out of tofu, or I take out falafel to be fast. For the third monthly potluck I must go to, and the women there all almost on my back. I told me Mama was going out, she asked what I was all about. I asked if I could take the broom, I'm going to meet the girl. You know the moon is rising high, why don't you like the buzz? Oh, I prefer the girls tonight, I'm going to ride the wind, and it's a girls' night out away. Merry lassies, get your brooms, get out, we'll ride the wind tonight. She sang to me a song of myself, rolling my name round in her mouth like a jewel, presenting it to me as a gift, saying, look at yourself, bright star. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the water. I'm just a common woman, working hard every day. So do my sisters, so did my mother, till she wore out and passed away. I hope my daughters can keep believing she can make a better life if she tries. We all are common women, as common as bread, and we'll rise, we'll rise. We gather in peace that will make us one piece, that will share us in peace, that will make us one piece, that will share us in peace, that will bring us and peace, that will shape us and peace, that will breathe us alive. If you have ever had that sensation, a lesbian feminist inclination, think about checking out our vibration. Artemis, she's a goddess. We the people stand united against the hate. We the people say no, 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 not in my name. We flood the streets with cardboard signs as millions of lifted voices rise. No hate, no fear, refugees are welcome here. No wall,